Former powerful Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein delivered the scene that America has been longing for, starring Weinstein himself being led away as an accused rapist in cuffs. His trial will be yet another trial of the century. Just a few weeks ago, former TV star Bill Cosby was convicted on sex charges, partly because the judge in the case allowed past accusers to testify against him. Now, that ruling makes the conviction ripe for appeal, but it also sets a precedent for Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance, who wants to call past accusers of Weinstein. There are 80 of them, including big-name actresses like Ashley Judd, Gwyneth Paltrow, Salma Hayek, and Rose McGowan. And with cameras allowed in the courtroom in New York, live coverage of this star-studded high drama will dominate dozens of TV stations and be unlike anything we've seen since the O.J. Simpson trial in 1995.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
New TV legal stars like Johnny Cochran, Greta Van Susteren, Alan Dershowitz will undoubtedly be created at the Weinstein trial. And powerful men will undoubtedly continue to fall in the MeToo movement that arose in the wake of Weinstein. The movement has already claimed the careers and reputations of Matt Lauer, Charlie Rose, Al Franken, and Kevin Spacey. But the real power of Me Too will be when it's not just the rich and powerful who feel the retribution of a movement fueled by the personal histories of sexual harassment. Although they get the most notoriety, actresses, TV hosts, and reporters are not the best witnesses to decades of sexual impropriety. Waitresses, maids, nurses, factory and office workers may not have the celebrity platform or resources to get national attention, but they have been on the front lines as victims of sexual misconduct. They have been screaming "Me Too" too, but nobody's cared enough to listen. But that changed last week in Rome, New York. It was at this Denny's where 23-year-old Jamie Adair is a waitress. A man sitting at one of Jamie's tables decided to get a little something extra with his order.
I get their drink order, I turn to walk away, and he reaches out of the booth, almost falls out of the booth, and hits my butt. Not tries, he hit my butt. And I was just in shock. I never had something like that happen to me.
Now, that may have been a first for Jamie, but other women in the service industry will tell you that kind of stuff happens all of the time, and no one's ever cared. But in Rome, New York, they cared. 65-year-old Clarence Locke now has a mugshot and faces a misdemeanor charge of forcible touching, which carries up to a year in jail. You see, Jamie told her manager, who asked the man to leave, but he did more than that. He called police. When the police showed up, they asked to watch the surveillance tape, and what they saw, they took seriously.
Here's a young lady who's trying to earn a living, and some guy just assumes he can slap her on the rear end, and somehow or another that's okay.
Now, chances are Locke will just get probation and a valuable lesson. And you may think that's a little harsh for a slap on the butt. But if we're going to have a Me Too movement, it has to include them too. $7 for a Grand Slam breakfast does not get you a cheap feel on the side. The case is important only for the message it sends. The next time you think the waitress comes with your order, or the maid is included in your hotel package, or your assistant is required to take abuse along with your dictation, understand that you may end up like this poor schmo with a mugshot plastered over the national news. And then maybe Me Too will be for more than just a select few. I'm Larry Menti. See you again next week.